Welcome everyone. Let me start with this quote from Warren Buffett. Okay. So sabi ni Warren Buffett, the best investment you can make is an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. So again, welcome everybody. And so let me introduce muna our team. Yan. So we are actually the Change Life Project. So if you are new dito sa ating group, then welcome. Ang ating battle cry as a community is changing lives for the better together. So we believe na hindi lang tayo nagnenegosyo, but we are changing people's lives in whatever way we can, basta positive yung change na magaganap. Okay? And my name is Oliver Balvieja. I'm the founder and CEO of AngatKaPH Learning Hub. So let's have a discussion muna on this. No? So meron ba sa ating dito, currently employed, right? And what comes into your mind when you see these kinds of picture? Minsan ba pag nag-work ka, nai-imagine mo din ang ganitong mga bagay ba? Nagiging kaisipan mo din ba sila? I would like to ask maybe one or two sharer lang about this. No? Okay, Sir Manny.
Okay, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Una naman, nang makita ko itong mga picture na ito, ever since kasi ako nakagraduate, nag-start na ako talaga na as being an employee. So, nandiyan sa Pilipinas, 8 to 5 yung work ko, 8 to 4, tapos dito, 8 to 5, 9 to 5 pala. So, kumbaga, doon na lang na ubos yung oras. And then, napapansin ko, even hanggang ngayon, after ng matapos yung work, wala na ako ibang gagawin. Buti na lang, merong kami ditong church activities, so nakasama ko sa mga Bible studies, ganyan. And kung wala, talagang mabuboring. Mauubos ang oras ko sa Facebook, sa YouTube, ganyan. So, nagtatagal ako dito sa being employed. Sabi ko, kailangan maging productive tayo. Siyempre, isa sa mga nakapag-touch sa akin, ang aking kaibigan, si Brother Oliver, na sabi niya, bro, kung naghahanap ka ng opportunity na makapag-for good na, then subukan mo ito. So, kaya ako talaga naniniwala sa aking kaibigan, si Sir Oliver, na tayo ay matutulungan niya kung paano mag-transition into entrepreneurship. Kasi although okay naman ang kita ko dito sa Marshall Island, pero syempre lumalaki yung ating family, lalo pag nagkakaroon na tayo ng maraming obligasyones, talagang kailangan natin ng extra income and para yung future natin rin tayo. And main goal ko talaga is makapag-for good na rin. So, salamat kay Sir Oliver. And with this transition to entrepreneurship, I'm looking forward na maging negosyante.
Yun.
Yan lang po. Salamat.
Thank you so much, Sir Manny. Palakpakan natin si Sir Manny for that, no? And actually, that's true. Syempre, ang hinahabol talaga ng lahat tayo is yung freedom and capability, sabi nga nila, no? Kasi syempre, ultimately, bagamat okay naman ang work, pero syempre, may point in time na gusto rin nating i-pursue yung nasa heart talaga natin. But kung gusto nating i-pursue isang bagay, gusto naman natin, kaya nating i-pursue, di ba? Kasi pag malaya ka at hindi mo kaya i-pursue, tambay ang labas. Tambay ang tawag doon, malaya ka lang, okay? So, hindi mo nga lang kayang i-pursue yung gusto mong gawin. So, dapat meron tayong freedom and capability or capacity to pursue. So, again, itong talk na to is for all the employees, self-employed out there na tulad niya ng binanggit natin, at lalo na tulad na shinare ni Manny at saka ni Krisa, they are looking for way to become free and capable in life. And entrepreneurship is the pathway to get there. But, let's face it, no? We start with a problem. May problema kasi tayong lahat nakakaharapin dyan, no? Lalo na sa mga employee, no? So ano yung mga problems na yan? Number one is yung artificial intelligence right now, ayon sa mga recent data projections, no, or tinatawag nilang forecast ng mga experts, is that around 40% of jobs now will disappear in the coming decade, less than a decade from now. That's around 85 or so million of jobs mawawala dahil sa rising artificial intelligence. No? So napakalaking disruption na magaganap in the future. Kumbaga, imagine mo na nagsisimula pa ng internet, wala pa tayong ka-idea, right? Tapos, again, there's a good and a bad side to this one. It's better to be prepared. Kung employee ka lang, you will be at the mercy of these kinds of disruptions, di ba? So, dito sa Pilipinas, at least, next time pag uwi ni Manny sa July at kumain siya sa Jollibee, makikita niyo ni Manny na wala nang masyadong service crew sa Jollibee, bro. Natanggal na sila sa work. No? Kasi meron ng robot ngayon para mag-deliver ng food kung nasaan ka sa loob ng Jollibee. So imagine how many service crew has to be stopped from being hired dahil andyan na si Jollibot, right? And that's just one of many. Kahapon, I think nag-post ako sa wall ko yung Black Hawk helicopter being piloted using AI. I-click lang nila and then the helicopter will fly according dun sa AI. So imagine that. Para matuto ka magpalipad ng helicopter, mahabang proseso yun. Right? And usually sabi na around 135 flight hours plus another 2 years bago ka makapagpalipad or maging authorized or credible na pilot, especially ng Black Hawk. So, imagine niyo, wala na, useless na yung sa Maraming in the future, di ba? Well, may positive side naman yun. Hindi siya mamamatay if ever ma-disgrasya helicopter. But it means that everything and more people, especially kung job yan, can be very displaceable. No? Now, the other challenge that we have is that maraming gustong kumawala sa pagiging employee, pero nag-aaral sila, right? Pero ang pag-aaral kasi natin sa Pilipinas, ang education natin, ay employment-centered, hindi entrepreneurship-centered. Okay, so in other words, ngayon, yung kakayahan ng tao, even yung mga nag-aaral ng entrepreneurship na course, kasi may nakausap akong dean, at sabi nga niya, pagka-graduate ng mga nag-aaral, ang babagsakan nila ay hindi sila makakapag-start ng business. Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi wala silang kapital. Okay? So, yung eskwelahan natin sa Pilipinas, yun ang challenge natin. Now, I used to mention a lot, di ba, yung Singapore. Bakit ang Singapore ngayon number 1 as the richest country in Asia, ang Philippines number 35. Pero nung nag-start ang Singapore, we were like number 2 in the, I think, ang dollar to peso conversion is 1:2. $1, 2 peso ang palitan noon. Pero, over 50 years later, ngayon, mas mayaman na sa atin ang Singapore. Because in those times, 1965, may 10th president ng Pilipinas noon. Ang Singapore, nag-decide sila na yung kanilang mga kabataan, yung kanilang pag-aaral, gagawin nilang business-friendly. Tayong Pilipino naman, ginawang workforce-friendly. So, yun na naging concentration ng pag-aaral natin. That's actually one of the reason why marami ang nahihirapan na mag-shift sa entrepreneurship. No? Now, the third reason is that gusto kong magnegosyo, wala naman akong kapital, right? Hindi siya maka-access ng capital. In fact, may mga na-train nga sa DTI program and sabi nila, kailangan pa din ng collateral. Paano nga mag-collateral yung mga simpleng tao, right? So this is the problem. No? And lastly, ang pagiging entrepreneur daw ay isang lonely journey. Yan. Mahirap daw na journey ang pagiging entrepreneur. Ano? Bakit kaya? Because they think na wala silang kakilala, wala naman akong connection eh. So hindi ko kaya. So these are actually the 4 problems that employees are facing or even yung mga self-employed, even yung mga unemployed. Okay? Ito yung problem nila. So this problem has to be solved. Okay? So anong gagawin natin to address this problem? We proposed a solution to each of these problems, syempre, no? So, the first problem is kung kakainin in the future ng artificial intelligence ang trabaho, di wag ka magtrabaho, di ba? Mag-start ka ng negosyo. Why? Because ang AI magiging tool ng mga negosyante. Right? Pero kung ikaw ang nagtatrabaho ka, ang kalaban mo AI, talo ka na. So start your business is a viable option. Pangalawa, learn entrepreneurship. Okay. So instead na employment lang yung takbo mo, mag-aaral tayo ng entrepreneurship. Right? Kasi hindi ka makakapag-start ng business. Pangatlo, mag-raise tayo ng capital. Napaka-straightforward naman ang sagot. Ang tanong lang kasi papaano. Okay? And number 4, you have to join and be a part of a community na may ganitong advocacy. Okay? Tutulungan ka na maging entrepreneur ka. Right? So these are the 4 solutions that we have. Now, we have to convert these solutions into actions. Okay? So there is an action where itong 4 na ito na solutions natin, we have to convert them into an action. So that means, for example, gusto mong mag-start ng business, learn to build business. Ba't ka nag-aaral maging entrepreneur? Because you're building yourself. You have to build your capital and you have to build your team. And that is actually what you want to solve. Now, may tamang order ito. Okay? Hindi yan yung tamang order niya. It starts with yourself muna. No? So, kung ikaw ay empleyado or self-employed, it starts with you building yourself. No? Tulad ng ating opening quote kanina, sabi ni Warren Buffett na invest in yourself. The more you learn, the more you earn. So, you have to build yourself first. No? And then after that, you have to build your team. Kasi kung wala kang team o hindi ka marunong mag-handle ng team, then it will be very difficult for you. Magiging self-employed ka lang. Okay? You need a team. Mas maraming na-accomplish with a team than just doing things by yourself. Pangatlo, you have to build capital. Right? So it's very important kasi mahirap naman. Alam mong gagawin mo, mayroon kang team pero wala kang capital. And lastly, once you build the 3, mag-start ka na mag-build ng iyong business. Alright? So, these are the 4 building blocks of the solution we offer so that yung mga gustong maging entrepreneur na nasa employment or self-employment, makakatawid sila. And maybe you are asking, so paano, right? So, this is where we bring to you our course. Itong Transition to Entrepreneur, this is our strategy course. This will enable yung mga aspiring entrepreneurs to get into the game of business. No? Ito yung main course natin. Kumbaga sa kainan, ito talaga yung handa natin. Okay? Now, remember kanina yung ating 4 na building blocks, right? Ultimately, this is a journey. No? So, we show you a roadmap kung saan makakarating dapat tayo doon sa point na magbibuild ka ng business mo. Of course, kung ikaw ay empleyado, huwag ka munang aalis sa work mo. Kaya nga, meron tayong transition strategy. Kasi sa transition phase, hindi ka muna aalis hanggat hindi mo pa kaya mag-build ng business. What if bago ka umalis, pwede ka nang mag-build ng business or nakapag-build ka na ng business? Then it will be safe for you to say, okay, I'll jump now from one state to the next, right? So, we all have to start somewhere, right? And currently, marami sa atin marahil ay nandito sa stage na to. And meron din tayong major milestones before we get to the point na mag-build tayo ng business. I'm sure marami sa atin dito nag-attempt na before na mag-try mag-build ng business, di ba? And sino sa inyo dito yung sumuko na, okay, after na nag-attempt, di ba? Nag-fail tayo and that's actually okay. That's okay, no? We all experience failure. Why? Because minsan, dumiretso tayo doon ng walang proper transition and without moving from one season or milestone to the next. So very important itong mga milestones na to. So let's review our transition to entrepreneur roadmap. So we start with building first our faith. At ito yung adventure call natin. So itong ginagawa natin right now, we are inviting everyone to look into themselves whether meron ka bang calling. Feel mo ba na tulad ng sinasabi ni Krisa kanina, I know that one day, I will have to make it on my own. Okay? Lalo na given the fact na mayroong uncertainty threat posed by the artificial intelligence, right? So dito, i-discover mo through this kind of conversation or session, i-try mo i-discover sa sarili mo, meron ka bang desire to become an entrepreneur? Now, once you say, gusto ko, then it's time we start to build ourselves. So dito, we actually offer a free course. Na meron tayong free course, yung Ikaw ang Yaman, where we actually plant the abundance foundation sa mga potential future business partners din natin. No? Gusto nating malaman nila na hindi naman talaga yung business, hindi naman talaga yung pera ang magpapayaman, kundi sino? Sila, okay? At tayo. So tayo pa din yung ugat ng yaman. Alam niyo ba na tayo din ang ugat ng hirap? Okay? So, depende na lang kung saan ka papanig, no? Kaya this is a very important foundational course. And the good news is that this is actually free, no? All right, so the next after that is building your team. All right? So dito, ito na yung ating transition to entrepreneur. Of course, pag nag-start ka ng building yourself, kasama na dyan yung pag-start mo ng building your team. Kasi ikaw yung magiging leader. Ikaw yung magsaserve dun sa iyong team. No? So dito, where we actually teach the value of being an entrepreneur, anong magandang platform ang pasukin natin, and even the rules of the game in business. So, ipaplant natin dito yung desire for everyone to learn more. At dahil meron kang community, you will actually, interact and engage. So, the next one after ng Transition to Entrepreneur course natin is your Capital Build Up program. Okay, so dito, kailangan mong tapusin yung course na yan para eventually mag-qualify ka doon sa ating internship. No? Yung internship natin is where you get the capital by raising other aspiring entrepreneurs, by spreading our cause and culture to other people, then by becoming a servant leader, then makakapag-raise ka, i-reward ka ni AngatKaPH ng capital. Alright? And once you have the capital, once you have the team, and you are already familiar with the language of business, then it's time for you to start your first or start your next venture. And ang capital build-up program natin, we can release by the cycles of 500,000 to 1 million per capital release. No? So, again, this has to be used for business. Hindi mo po siya pwedeng gamitin pambili lang ng luho, pang forma, because if you do that, sa ating terms and conditions, ay hindi na magpapatuloy ang capital build-up program mo. Okay? So, pag ginamit mo sa luho yan. Alright? So, by enrolling here, you actually build yourself, you build your team, and you build your capital. Okay? As you can see, itong roadmap natin, it's a very simple framework, pero tinutulungan natin ang mga kababayan natin, especially yung mga employed, self-employed, na magkaroon sila ng journey properly. No? Because let's face it, marami naman talagang kababayan tayo. Di ba? Sino dito yung mahilig magbasa ng mga books o manood ng mga motivational videos, di ba? Thumbs up nga dyan. Marami sa atin, ganun, right? So we are building ourselves naman. Now, however, hindi tayo nakakapag-build ng team, hindi naman tayo nakakapag-build ng capital. Pero with our platform, pwede kang mag-build ng iyong team at mag-build ka ng capital mo so that you can raise capital for your next ventures. In essence, ano ba yung concept natin? If you were to think about our course, itong ating platform, we have to look at it also from a higher point of view. In other words, kung ito ay ikukumpara natin sa isang bagay, ano ba yung ating platform, yung AngatKaPH? Well, we can liken our platform into an online business course na may coaching community na may affiliate program. Okay? That's actually the way you can simply describe itong AngatKaPH. So we are an online course with a coaching community and an affiliate program so that you can raise capital in the process. Now, how do we accomplish? So let me show you how our business model works. So what we do is, ino-offer natin ito as mga courses natin. So yung free course natin is yung Ikaw ang Yaman. This is to help our students, co-learners, to understand na ang value talaga ng pagiging entrepreneur is not in the business, but in themselves. Okay? And the second is yung ating course na Transition to Entrepreneur, which ito na yung paid course natin. And dito is to build your team. Because it's not just about you. Of course, pag-aaralan mo yan. But eventually, kaya mo siya pinag-aaralan is so that you will eventually build a co-learning community. Kailangan mong i-share at magturo sa isang community na they want to become an entrepreneur also. And after mong i-build, okay, ang iyong community or natapos mo yung Transition to Entrepreneur course, then you can start our internship. Although actually, hindi ka pa tapos dyan sa course, you can already start. No? So what happens here is pag graduate ka na dito, then you can start getting or availing the privilege that our platform will give you, no? Ang privilege na to is that by practicing servant leadership and delayed gratification, you can accumulate rebates from the tuition fee of students below multiple generations para maging capital build-up mo. Sabi nga ni Krisa, Sir, ang isang semester, ang tuition fee ay 46,000 isang semester, 'di ba? And ang tuition fee sa isang school right now, 4-year course, aabot ng between 300,000 to 1.2 million depende kung saan school ka papasok. And that's purely tuition fee. Walang kasamang ano doon walang kasamang mga incidental expense, no? Yung pamasahe, boarding house mo, uniform, whatever, no? Load, hindi kasama doon. That's purely tuition fee. Whereas sa atin, we are starting our course, our learning progression with a free course so that, sa free course pa lang, you can actually invite your friends to come in na. So imagine, you can bring your friends, they can take the free course. And anong gagawin ninyo while he is taking the free course? Mag-engage kayo into a conversation together. No? Then, if they like the free course, eventually, they would like to take the premium course natin. Originally, it's actually priced at 19,996, but we have to give everyone a better head start. So, for this year, what we want is to give 75% off pala. So, that's why it's only 499. Yan ang ating price only. No? But with this, you can already build your capital along the way. I think last year, may nag-send sa akin na friend ko na mag-join sa isang 2-day event ni Chinky and some other guys. And it's a 2-day event sa isang hotel. Alam niyo kung magkano? 35,000. Okay? And then, hindi ka na pwedeng bumalik-balik doon. Diba? One-time access ka lang doon. Whereas dito, you have a lifetime access sa ating platform. So these are the way we can engage our students, our co-learners. They come in and they learn about this. But how do you build the capital? Maybe you are asking, how do I build the capital, Oliver? So one of the things na itinuturo natin dito sa ating platform is that we no longer live in the industrial economy. Industrial economy is lahat ng pinag-aralan ng mga nanay natin, ba't sila pumasok ng kolehiyo, at marami sa atin, ba't tayo pumasok ng kolehiyo? It's built on the industrial economy. I'm not saying that industrial economy is bad. It's good. However, it's limited. No? So let me show you the power of connection economy from the one who actually coined the term, the connection economy. This actually taps into the power of virality. Panoorin natin ito saglit.
But we live in a new economy now, in a connection economy. And in a connection economy, only hubris is rewarded. Only people who say, over here, because connection is where value is now, not industrialization. Here's a map of the London subway. Where's the valuable stations? It's obvious where all the lines cross. Here's a map of the internet. Where are the valuable stations? It's obvious where all the lines cross. Where all the lines cross is where value is created. Matt Ridley famously said, no one on earth knows how to make a computer mouse. There's nobody who understands plastics and hardware and software and supply chain and manufacturing and import-export who can make a mouse. We must do it as a team. And it's when teams work together that we create value. So this new economy, this connection economy, what's it based on? Here are some basic principles. The first thing is coordination. You're all here today. None of you were in this room a week ago. None of you will be here next week. Value was created by coordinating our efforts. Number 2 is trust. There's someone sitting behind you or in front of you, and you trust them enough to talk to them. You trust them enough to be in the room. You don't even know them, but you know that they're fellow travelers. The next idea is permission, which we just talked about. The privilege of delivering messages to people who want to get them. And the fourth element of this economy is sharing ideas. All of us are smarter than any of us. So if you think about what you do all day, how many of these 4 elements are at the heart of what you do? Because the institutions that are growing and the organizations that are profiting are right in the center of that. But here's the surprising part. The surprising part is these 4 principles are based on 2 words, 2 concepts, 2 principles: generosity and art. Generosity, because no one wants to connect to a selfish person. No one wants to connect to an organization that's just taking. And art is what we call it when a human being does something that connects us. When a human being does something that might not work. When a human being says, here, I made this. Art begs for connection. And that's what we seek out. What does it mean to be associated with this? Let me crystallize this in the simplest way I can. Here's the question. The first person with a fax machine, what exactly did he do with it? I'll let you think about that for a second. You can't use a fax machine by yourself. Built into the fax machine is the engine of the marketing of the fax machine. As soon as you got one, you know what you did? You told everyone else you knew to go get one, so your fax machine would work better. Right? That's built into Twitter and Facebook and everything else that's based on community. Bob Metcalfe, he's not shy, coined Metcalfe's Law. And Metcalfe's Law says the value of any network is the square of the power of the people on the network. So we are now in the business of building networks, not in the business of building widgets, because widgets are cheap and easy to make. Networks last a long time and they're hard to build.
So the connection economy is where we actually get more powerful results than trying to live your life in the industrial economy. And actually, Seth Godin was a marketing consultant of Google before. And the fact na sinasabi niya, one, there has to be a generosity involved and creativity. You have something to offer. You are a part of a connection. You are building a community. What you do is what? Coordination, trust, sharing of ideas, permission. So basically, ginagawa naman na natin ito. Let's face it, di ba? Kaya nga ang Facebook natin, ang ating Instagram, ang ating TikTok, it's based on the connection economy. Hindi nga lang lahat ay kayang i-monetize o gawin ng tingnan siya from the business perspective. So, ang ginawa natin dito sa atin is that when we get our students, we plant in them our core values. And when they go out there after a while at nag-graduate sila sa atin o kahit hindi pa, they also plant the same core values and vision sa ibang mga students din natin. So what we want is to build a virality and a connection economy. And in the process, we reward our graduates with capital. Yan ang ginagawa natin dito. Okay? Para malaman ninyo yung papaano nangyayari yan, when you take the course, nandoon siya sa loob ng ating course. No? So you can actually explore it. Now, let's look at the higher level naman. Let me just share. Of course, pag nagtatanong sa atin, minsan tinatanong tayo, ano ba yung ipinaglalaban ng AngatKaPH? AngatKa came from tapang at karunungan. So pag pinagdugtong mo yung tapang at karunungan, you will get the word angat in the middle. Hindi po tayo isang political party, nauna po tayo. Okay? 2018 pa itong konsepto na to sa atin, no? So, yung cause natin, ito yung parang ipinaglalaban natin, okay? At ano yung pinaglalaban natin? We want to raise entrepreneurs in every Filipino family to prosper the next generations. Ako, I believe in that. I believe na kung gagawin mo lang yung generation mo, mga empleyado, I don't think magpo-prosper yung next generation mo. I will disagree to that. Ako, I believe if you want to prosper the next generation, maging entrepreneur ka right now. And your children will be inspired by you acting as an entrepreneur. Sabi ko nga sa wife ko before, hindi pwedeng magle-lecture ka lang sa mga anak mo about entrepreneurship eh. They have to see you building a business. They have to see you modeling what is it to become an entrepreneur. Go through the process. Go through the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur. And you will inspire them. Kasi hindi yung kinakalang i-lecture eh. They will just see it with their eyes. And for them, that's permission. That means, pwede ko rin gawin yan. Kakayanin ko rin yan. right? And that's what we're trying to do dito, no? But anong klase namang entrepreneur ang nire-raise natin? You see, ang pagiging entrepreneur can be good or bad. But tayo, we choose to raise up yung mga tinatawag nating impact-driven entrepreneurs. Diba? Ito yung mga entrepreneurs that are making positive change. Ito yung mga entrepreneurs that are perpetuating servant leadership and delayed gratification. As you can see, yung servant leadership and delayed gratification, it's actually an opposite of what the world is offering when it comes to doing business, right? But, you know, the most successful and unforgettable people, just like dun sa last session that we had, right? May mga naiyak pa nga. I didn't expect that it will really touch people's heart with that very simple exercise na ginawa natin. Sino yung mga unforgettable people in our lives? Those who have become servant leaders to us, right? So, ganoon din ang gusto natin. Sir Oliver, anong negosyo papasukin ng mga itatayo ng ating mga partners? Bahala sila. Basta ang kailangan lang in their hearts, there are servant leaders and they practice delayed gratification. Of course, we have endorsed platforms that they can get. But what if mas successful na sila beyond that? Right? When their heart is right, I think they will make a change in our society and in the next generations. So that is very crucial, and this cause and culture is very crucial for us. And this is part of what we communicate. Okay? Maging sa mga anak ninyo, pag-usapan nyo itong bagay na to. This is important. Now, sabi ni Malcolm X, education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it. Yan. Those who prepare for it. So what does that mean? Ngayon po, what we are doing is we are inviting everyone to become an entrepreneur. Whether ikaw ay employed, self-employed, underemployed, or unemployed, it doesn't matter. Basta meron kang pangarap at hindi mo alam kung paano ka tatakbo, saan ka magsisimula, we have a platform for you. And it's very simple, right? You just simply enroll yourself in, and we will help you build yourself, build your team, and build your capital. And you have to educate yourself, of course, no? Because otherwise, yung future na nakikita mo, you cannot even approach that future. No? Hindi ka makakapaglakad papunta doon. So this statement of Malcolm X is very, very true. Tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it. So in this transition strategy na course natin, habang nag-aaral ang mga students natin dito, they are preparing for a tomorrow that they want to claim. Right? So tayo, kung tayo ay mga mentors, tayo ay mga co-learners, then it is our duty to create a conversation around the future that our students wants to go. Kumbaga, even yung future natin na nakikita para sa sarili natin, we have to share this to a lot of people. Because dito sa atin po, sa platform natin, ang talagang produkto natin is not the course. Right? Ang produkto natin ay ang ating mga sarili at ang ating mga culture. Ang culture na ma-build natin, yan ang ating main product natin. Okay? So, with that, join the pioneering block, learn entrepreneurship with Capital Build a program, build yourself, build your team, and build your capital. And ang ating tuition fee is only 4,999. That's the course tuition fee.